Hello, in this video we are going to introduce working with branches. So that's a big part of working with Git, managing these branches and figuring out how to best work with them. And there are different strategies, but we'll look at those in a later video. For now I just want to introduce the very basic idea, so hopefully you get some kind of understanding what it means to make a branch in your code and what it means to merge two branches back together again. So you can consider a branch to be a different version of your project. So all projects have some kind of main branch where you all start off, and usually it's either called main or master by default when you just set it up using JetBrains tools or Git, but sometimes it's called trunk or something else. And this is usually supposed to contain the features that work. So this is sort of the latest version that you can release, again depending on your branching strategy, but let's assume that this main branch is the stuff that works. And then whenever you want to start working on a new feature, you create a new branch and you work on that feature in this branch, in this version of the project. So whatever you push and pull and commit and do to this branch, you can work with this and not affect the main branch. And when you're done with your feature in your own personal branch, again depending on your strategy, but this is what I recommend you do, which we will get back to, you can then take this stuff that you have made, whatever feature you have completed, and then you can copy or merge, to use the Git term, your code back into the main branch. So your main version, your main branch of the project is now updated with your new feature. So it could look like this. This is some checkpoint at some point in time. There are probably more before this, previous commits and pushes, but at some point some group member decides they want to start working on a new feature, so they create a new branch. I mark this in a different color on a different vertical height to indicate a different row, right? And then another group member also decides to start working on a new feature, so they create a new branch based on this checkpoint, this version of the code. And now they have an identical version of the code, both of them, but in a separate branch. So now I have two branches here. And this person here works and creates some commits and pushes and pulls. So there's also a local repository which I haven't shown, so they pull this down to the local repository, they push code up, right? So that's this checkpoint here, this commit, they push more code up once they have worked some more, so that's this commit. And the same one for whoever works on the yellow branch here, they also have commits and push those commits to the remote repository. Now this person here is done. At this point in time here, they are done with the branch and it's working and tested and all the stuff that you need. And so they want to copy, merge that into the main branch, so the main branch is now updated with the latest working feature. Right, so you generally you don't want to merge into the main branch with stuff that does not work or is not finished, generally. But here we have a new finished feature, and we merge that back in, and that creates a new version of our main branch, like this, a new checkpoint, a new whatever this is, right? And at some point, right, time is on the x-axis, so at some point slightly later, the person working on the yellow branch here finishes their feature and merges it back into the main branch. So now the main branch is updated with the pink feature and then the yellow feature. And you can create, a new branch from this point in time, or this point in time when you start a new feature, you branch this out and create new stuff, and you merge it back in again. So this branching out and merging back, and probably also deleting this branch here because you don't need it anymore. This is a very fundamental way of working with Git. So I'm going to set up two versions of my pizza app, and then we're going to try this out. I create two new branches and we take a look at the repositories in GitHub to see what it looks like. And that's the idea, at least. So let's give that a go. Okay, let's give it a go. I have IntelliJ open on my left hand side, just one project, and I have my main menu handler open, and see, I can't really do much with my pizza app. And on the right hand side we imagine that I'm someone else, so this is Pizza Reviewer 2, so it's a different project on my computer, but let's imagine that these are two different group members. Down here I have my GitHub and my little drawing tool which we're going to use, and we can see that this is the master, and I currently also have a main because that was set up by Git apparently, but I use my master as the master branch, not the main branch, which is my, so this is my, anyway, this is, we ignore the main branch. Okay, so these two, they have the identical code, it's the same, and they now decide that they want to start working on different features. So this person over here to the left, they want to be able to add a pizza review, so that's option 1, and the person on the right, they want to delete a pizza review, so that's option 2, let's say that. And if they work on the same stuff here, I'm going to put code in. So let's say I need to how do we manage this? Let's just do new add handler. So I'm going to manage this in a different class. So I'm creating a new add handler for my UI, different class. No, sorry, that's not what we want yet, right? But that's how we would handle this. And over here I would create a new delete handler. Okay, but we don't want to work in the same branch, because if I modify something here, right stuff, and I over here new delete handler blah blah blah, and they merge at some point, then I have code that's written on top of each other at the same places, and I'm going to get merge conflicts. And if I push and pull whenever I commit, well, whenever I commit something and push it, then I have to pull first, because the left side here, they may have made updates that are also pushed, and so I have to pull and then handle any merge conflicts if there is code written on top of each other. And whenever I push over here, this person on my left would have to pull, and it's just inconvenient to work on two different things with in the same branch. So let's revert this and back again. So my left hand side, they're going to create a new branch, and we do it like this: new branch. I call it add pizza review, and sometimes you prefix it with feature. Maybe I can do like this, yeah, and I can see I have a new branch here. I'm working on that one. It's just local, so I don't have anything on my remote repository yet. I refreshed, there's nothing. So let's see if I can I commit anything. I probably have to make a change before I can actually commit anything. Add more, create add pizza review branch. Let's see if this works. Commit. Okay, so I have to make files. So I just delete this one. Work here. Okay. And it's updating. And that takes some time. So we wait. Okay, there we go. So I commit this one, and I commit it to the feature add pizza review branch. And when I push it, it should pop up here on my remote repository. So let's do that. Yeah, I have a to do, so it warns me, but that's what I made, so I commit and push anyway. And we can see that it wants to push this one, and my commit, whatever that is, I can see that made a long time ago. Okay, and this one, okay, so these two will be committed, pushed to my new branch. Okay, and we can see GitHub actually updates. So let's just, I don't know, let's refresh and let's see. And I can see that I have a new branch here. So my master branch is untouched. If I go to the main, no, the UI, the class here, console UI, that's the one. Oh, sorry, I'm in the main menu handler. We can see that that's what I had before I pushed anything, but my code is in a different version because I have two different branches, right? Here we're looking at the master branch. If I switch to the feature add pizza review branch, right, you can see that it matches what I have here. So that means I have made from my master, right, I made a new branch. This is just my remote repository, not the local one, and let's make this orange, right? And we pull a line down here. There we go. So I've made a new branch, and this one is called add pizza add review, just for short. There we go. So now my left guy here, person, yeah, whoever, can work in this branch and make commits and so on, and pushes as pulls. And this person here, my right person, they want to go down here and say to do work here, right? And instead of the master, we also want to create a new branch. You can see I have, there we go, create a new branch, and I call it feature delete pizza review. Now maybe the order of these two features cannot be done simultaneously or in parallel, because in order to delete something I have to add something first. So, but yeah, this is just an example. I'm not going to implement either feature completely. So okay, so I have a feature, I have to commit it and push it. Alright, so we go here and say, and we see that I'm working in this branch, and we say add feature delete add branch delete pizza review, and commit and push, and it will complain because I have it to do, but we ignore that. Right, so I had to think a little bit, but we just commit and push anyway. Click it again more forcefully, and we can see that it wants to commit and push to delete pizza review, so that's good. And we can see the commit that is being pushed, which makes sense, so I push it and it's working. And we go to this one here, and if we go back again, we can see, okay, they have been updated, and I don't want main, I want, now I have a delete pizza review. So if we go to that one and we look at the console main menu handler, we can see that this one does not match over here because I am looking at this specific branch on my right side, right? So to do work here, and if I go and switch branch up here, I switch to the pizza review add thing, then we will be looking at my left hand side code, which means that the to do is in case 1 instead of case 2. So I can view the different branches on GitHub, and I can work in different branches locally on each machine. And I have now made a, let's make this red, right? And this one is called delete review, and let's make a little line down here. There we go. And now this person working on delete review, or multiple persons, they can make commits and pushes and pulls and so on, and work with this one. So let me just pause a little bit while I do just the simplest, slightly more than this, and imagine then that the feature is complete, and then we will see how to merge it back into the master so that the master is updated with the latest working feature. Alright, I pause it. Okay, so I made some changes, and we can see over here I have a new add handler, so this is responsible for handling the add review feature, and on my right hand side I have a delete handler under option 2, which should probably does that actually match? Add, update, delete. Okay, I'll just put this down under 3. Add, delete. Yeah, so I have made the final commit. Let's assume that my add review on my left hand side is finished, so I have made that and pushed it to GitHub, and we can go and see if I go to add review, so that's here, and I look at my main menu handler, and we have this handle thing, and I wonder where I put that class. Actually, add handler. It's in the UI. Makes sense. Is this one updated? Let's see. Maybe the octo tree here. Okay, add handler. There we go. Yeah, and I have the same thing over here, just a different feature. They're not working entirely, but sort of halfway, just a little bit. Let's see what happens, because obviously you need to test your stuff before you commit it. Okay, so I can add a review. That's what we want to do, and I can input the restaurant name. And I recently got from Spicy Pizza and Grill, which was, they had a decent kebab. Yeah, enter. Okay, successfully added. So I didn't put in that you can actually put comments and rating and stuff, but let's assume it's now added. Yeah, we can add another one, but then, oh no, I changed my mind and we go back again. Okay, so that one works, and over here, I don't have configuration yet, so let us find the main menu thing, main startup. Here we go. Okay, so I have to run it, and this is set up for me, otherwise I could do that manually, but this is the quick way. So if I run this, then I get a different set. You see, if I press the one over here on my right hand side, I don't get the add review. You selected option 1, so okay, so whatever. If I do 3, I can delete something. If I press -7, oh, it must be a positive integer, so that actually works. So let's go with +4, and then review deleted. Let's assume that. Okay, so my two features are sort of working. We pretend that, and it's pushed to the branches, right? Remote repository branches. So I have those updated, but I want my master to be updated. So if I go and check out the master here, it's still the old, where's my master? There we go, master. It still looks like what it did before we started, right? So there's nothing, no functionality in here, it just prints out you selected option 1. So, okay, so let's do the add one first. I am currently here. That's the version that I have in my left hand side IntelliJ, and I want to go here. I want to check that out. I hope. It's been a while since I did this, but let's give it a go. So master, I check it out, and we wait. There we go, and what you can see is my entire code base, my workspace now has changed. I don't have the add handler anymore, like I have my delete handler over here. I usually had an add handler, but because I'm in the master branch, right, I have checked out this checkpoint in time. So I was here, but I moved up here, and then my workspace reflects that. So all my code is, well, it's not gone, it's still in the remote repository, right there, but I'm just looking at this specific checkpoint or commit, right? Okay, so I want to pull this one. What we want to do is make a new version, right? See if I can mix this alignment, get it right. Alright, sorry about that, that was my dog. So the dishwasher finished, and my dog is mortally afraid of that machine. So whenever my dishwasher says a sound, my dog will alert the entire neighborhood. So that's a very nice service. I now know the dishwasher is finished. So where were we? I want this checkpoint based on taking the code, my new feature, this one. I want that code copied into my main branch. So we are aiming for this setup, right? And what I do, I am in my master branch, and I want to check out the add pizza review. I want to pull into master using merge. I am not entirely sure what rebase is, so maybe I will cover that in a later video, but we want to pull it into master using merge. Essentially that arrow here indicates I take the code here and merge it into the master. That's what we do. So origin this one, add pizza review, pull into master using merge, and we pray this works. I haven't practiced too much, but it's updating, and at some point I should see my code update so that it matches whatever I have from this one, and we combine it into here. Okay, yeah, we see that I got some more classes, the add handler, and that's in here, and I should be able to run it. I don't want to show you that, waste time. So now I'm here in my master, and I have I have my feature. It's now merged into my master, so my master is updated with the latest working code. So that's nice. I could go and delete this feature now, this branch. Maybe we will give that a shot. Can we do that? How do I delete a branch? I actually don't know. Add pizza review. Can I? What can I do? What can I do? Maybe I will figure this out later. Go to file, pizza reviewer. Yeah. I have branches, 4 branches. Can I see them? Okay. Here we go. Active branches, and this one 4 commits behind main. I don't know. Interesting. Let's delete it. I don't need it anymore. I create a new branch for a new feature, and once that is done, I close the branch. Otherwise, I'm going to have a bunch of branches, and maybe it's difficult to figure out. Okay. So that shouldn't pop up anymore in my drop down in here. Let's see. Yeah, it's gone. So that's good. I like that. We clean up. Now I want this one. So it's the same, but we'll just do it again. I want this one to be merged into my master so that we update with the latest. Right? Essentially doing, the same thing here. I need another arrow here, from there, and I can just pull one. Right, so this is what we're aiming for. I want this one. I want to take the code from my delete review, my finished feature, and into master so that it's updated. And we go over here on my right hand IntelliJ, right? That we want to end up here. I'm currently in my delete pizza review, so that means I'm looking at this, right? I check out the master, origin master. We check it out. I can do all kinds of stuff, I see. Or maybe that context menu was outside of what was being recorded. It looked the same. Okay, and we wait, and I get something. I can shelf. So I have some changes. Your local changes to the following files could be overwritten. So let's do a smart checkout. This is blue. It seems like a safe choice. Apply patch. Okay. In the master, it doesn't match, so that's interesting. Delete handler. Did I not get? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I tried to merge something. That's not what we wanted. Shit. I mean, oops. I don't know. So we have to clean up. Let's delete this one. Okay, my smart checkout really messed up things because I wanted to see this, right? That's my latest version of the master. I don't have anything I can commit over here, no? And on GitHub, that should be the latest main. I'm in the master. Let me see that one. Right, and we open the UI main menu handler. Right. Sorry. Yeah. I have merged. I had the master, so I worked locally. Damn it. I worked locally. I'm in the master here. And this is just my local code, but I haven't, so I have merged things locally, but I haven't pushed it to GitHub. So my master hasn't been updated on GitHub, so I was a bit too fast. Now how do okay, so I can push something. Let's see what I can push. No commits selected. That's probably weird, but I mean, I haven't changed anything. I've merged it in. Let's see what happens. Otherwise I will have to make a dummy change and it should update. We'll see how that goes. Pushing, well, it's doing something. Push of master was rejected because changes need to be merged. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that went okay. I should have practiced this slightly more. Let's try and push it again. So you had a clean workflow on how to do this. But maybe we learned something from the first version and we fix it with the delete one, if I can go back to that feature. Okay, it's checking, it's working, I paused. Okay, just says everything is up to date, so that's definitely not what I wanted. Right, if I update here. Oh, okay, there we go. So I just had to update Git. So I could push without having any commits, and now I see my local code here matches my remote code. Okay, so that went well. Now that means I actually did. So I did this part, you know, I checked out my master. I merged my my add review into my master, but I only did it locally, and then I had to push my master to the remote repository. So let's try again. Okay, so let me just make this small. Let's go and check out the delete. This one, we check it out, and I have made changes to my local master because I deleted something because of that smart checkout thing. So I probably just need to throw those changes away. So we just hang on a minute. Okay, so that seems okay. I still have my delete handler. We are now in the feature delete pizza review, right? I am here, this one, and I want to do the same thing. I want to check out the master. I want to merge my delete review into the master, and then I want to push the master to the remote. So let's give that a go. Yeah, we say origin master. So I also have local branches, so I can still work on different local branches, right? But I want to check out the remote branch so I get the latest code from the add stuff, add review. Okay, master, check out. Let's see what happens. Yeah, took some time, but I now have the master checkout. So I'm basically here because I don't get the latest with the add handler. This is weird. Hang on. Maybe it took my local one. So let's just pull update project, merge incoming changes, yeah, into current branch. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I made the pull. Apparently I had to do that to get the latest version of it from GitHub. I thought I could just make a checkout, but maybe I had sort of saved my local one and cached that, and then I'm not sure. But at least I have this version from my remote repository checked out. The add feature is here. Now I want to take my delete review and merge into the master branch into this one, and then I want to push my latest version of the master branch so it's updated in the remote repository. Let's give that a go. I say master here, down here. I want remote branches. I want to, and I have updated my remote branch. Otherwise, I could check out this one if I didn't had anything pushed. But we go here because I know my remote repository is up to date for this branch. I make a pull into master using merge. Okay, so that went through, and let's see what do we have. Let's just make it slightly bigger. Now I actually have my delete handler. I'm still in the master. I have my delete handler, I have my add handler, so locally my code looks like that. I have both features back into the master. Remotely on GitHub, if we go to the master branch, we are in the master branch, main menu handler, we will see that I still only have the add, so the add feature. I don't have the delete, so I need to push this. Alright, we push it. There are no commits because I haven't made any changes, but it still knows that I have apparently updated my branch, so I thought that would sort of make a change. But I mean, if we go and see, is there anything to commit? No changes, so that is actually a bit strange to me because I did make some changes, but whatever. I need to push it, so my local changes here is pushed to the master, and we can see there is actually a commit here. That's the merge, so that is by itself a commit apparently, which I haven't manually done with the commit tab. Okay, we push it. Let's see what happens. Pushed 3 commits to origin master, and if I refresh my main menu handler here remotely, I can see that it is now up to date. So my remote repository is now at this checkpoint. I can then go, and if I want to, I can also delete my other branch. Right, branches, I just have 3 now, that is active, your branches, sort of the same thing. I can delete this branch, so we clean up, and I can restore it as long as I don't go away from this page, I guess, but too late now. Master branch, and my master is now all up to date. Yeah. So the second time worked okay. First time was a bit iffy, but hopefully you sort of get the point. Right? You can create new branches, you can work on those branches, and you can work on them locally, and then you can push and pull. And if you are more people, you can work on the same branch. And you saw how I can change my branch either by fetching one from the remote repository, if I have local branches which may have a different commit version than the remote one. I can work on these. And I have to switch to the master branch, and then I have to pull my stuff into the master branch. And I used the let's see, I used the one with the merge. I don't know the rebase yet. I think that sort of includes a commit history, so these two will be sort of included up here, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I think we stop this video here, and then we go and talk about branching strategies in the next video. So, thank you for watching, and see you in the next part, whichever number that's going to be.